PK, the Utah Jazz had a busy week. Players coming, players going. You got the question up at Facebook. What is your evaluation of the Jazz moves this week? I thought, Steve, I like the way he started. First two words, like them, exclamation point. I would go with like them, not love them, but the exclamation point is because I really do like them. I just feel like there's a lot of moving parts still to play out before I declare I love this, but I could easily see it working out that way. But what I really care about is what's that lineup going to look like on opening night, and how is it going to stack up with everybody else? And there's just so many question marks in that area. This move was clearly made not with this season in mind, but with next season. But I think this is a big step in the right direction. And, I mean, we've talked basketball for a long time. And I remember you saying once, we had it was when who's better, Magic or Stockton was a thing. I were in a room and you pointed at me and you go, he's always going to pick the bigger guy. And I looked at you and I was like, yeah. That's going to be true 99 times out of 100. I mean, I'll pick Steph Curry. I'm not a moron. So, okay, he's the exception. But, yeah, I'm going to pick the bigger basketball team. Now, they haven't re-signed Kessler yet, and we can get into that. We'll just set that aside for a second and get back to that. But the fact that they could have Kessler out there and Jackson out there and Markkanen out there, and you're going to sub, you could always have two 7-footers on the court. And then if you're playing Ace Bailey or if you're playing Cody in there, you got another long, athletic guy who might be swooping in from behind and blocking shots while you're trying to negotiate a 7-footer in front of you. The only time I've seen a team really run out 3 7-footers and play them big minutes together was when the Lakers beat the Jazz in the playoffs 3 times in 4 years in the Darren Williams, Carlos Boozer era. That size, that was a very skilled Jazz basketball team, but it wasn't the biggest or most athletic. And the Lakers were. And you saw what that size and athleticism did. And I think those 3 guys are not only big, I think they're athletic. So the thought that could be the starting line, we got to see how it plays out, I know. Contract negotiations and restricted free agency and all of that. But the fact that they went out there and that's what they value and that's what they were able to go get, man, I really like that. And you know from talking to me for 20 years what I was going to say. He's going to go for the bigger guy. He better not reject that 7-foot lineup now.
Yeah, the Lakers had another guy. I think it was Kobe Bryant too. So
they did.
He was pretty good.
Yeah, right.
So you can have you can have 8-footers as long as you got Kobe Bryant. You got a shot to win. I think that this move is a 10 out of 10.
There it is.
I'm going Bo Derek. As Bill Frieder's assistant said, if you think Bo Derek is a 10, you should see this guy. And Frieder, who was one-minded type guy, said, forget about this guy. Go recruit me Bo Derek. He thought Bo Derek was a man. So it's a great line back.
Bo Derek, Bo Jackson, right? He must be a player. I haven't seen the kid, but he must be a player.
Bo Bichette for the
another Bo. Nice, yes.
Now. Yeah, so the reason why I think it's a 10 out of 10, it's not, I want to say, has nothing to do with Jaren Jackson, because obviously he's the centerpiece, and the moves that they made, everything is around him, right?
Yep.
The reason why I'm ecstatic about this is because we've endured 4 on purpose losing seasons.
Yep.
And now we are done with that. Now we still got 30, 29 games, whatever it is to go now. But that's fine. They have sent the message. A new pope has been elected. Smoke signals went up. And now we're done. We will be winning as much as we possibly can. So the overriding message that is being sent supersedes to me the individual players who have come, players who have gone, draft choices who were acquired in prior years, draft choices who were used to be acquired players this year that have left the organization as far as having that asset or those assets available to them are all done. And this is Austin Age being extremely aggressive and going for the opportunity to win. If you are a fan, and the majority of our listeners are to one degree or another fans, or else you probably wouldn't be listening. You want your team to try to win. That is the essence, whether it be high school and you can go into little league and all that stuff. You want to win. The intoxication of winning is a drug that cannot be purchased, but yet we've all experienced it at various levels, whether it's through individual hitting a good golf shot, or being, even if you're on a rec softball team, whatever it is. The intoxication of winning is universal, and the Jazz fans have not had that for 4 years. Once you become a sports fan, you are guaranteeing yourself heartbreak. But it's like getting a dog. You know the dog is going to live 10 years. That dog is going to love you in a manner that you have never experienced before. And every single day is a great day to the dog when he sees the people that love him. And then at the end of the 10 years, it will be an awful state of departure. So you buy into that. And the Jazz, they have not been able to buy into the good times, Jazz fans I'm speaking to. Now, going forward, I don't know to what extent the good times are going to happen in 26, 27. None of us do. But we do know from heretofore, as they say in gobbledygook language, that at this point on, this team is trying to win. Every move is going to be dictated with the premise of winning. And when winning, winning now. That's why I elevate this to a 10 out of 10 under the circumstances. If you would have said that this was a good team before the Boozer and Williams era when they were good, and even most recently with the guys that they brought in Bogdanovich. Okay, well, on his own, Bogdanovich was a decent player and he fit in well. I wouldn't have said that was a 10 out of 10. No, he helped them and he was a good player. Good, made the team better, but we didn't go crazy. The reason why I want to go crazy is it goes beyond Jaren Jackson Jr.'s playing ability, which is substantial.
Yes.
We have issues with his rebounding. I have issues with his salary. He's going to be a $50 million a year player, so you have to get that type of production. But I just like the signaling that it sends is that we're done, people, and from here on out, we're going to strive to have good times. And I care about the fans, right? I'm not going to have Hatbacks kind of money. I'm not going to have these players kind of money. I'm not going to have the coaches kind of money. I don't understand how that would work. I can't comprehend having no financial worries at any point now going forward. That's what they've got. Good for them. My contention and representation is from the fan base, and the fan base now can feel good about the franchise trying to win again.
I think they're going to pass some teams in the standings next year. How many remains to be seen. That'll be part of the fun next year. But, man, some of them are definitely in the rearview mirror. A bunch of them are probably in the rearview mirror. I'm expecting a big step forward. The only disappointment in this is that all that debate about we could have had about whether I'm shooting too high with 40 wins or Tim's shooting too high with 45, we're all going to have to recalibrate. This roster looks like it's going to be a lot better next year. And I got to figure out what the West looks like before we get too crazy about this. But the arrow is way up. If you want an old school song for this, PK, because I know you love to have songs and themes and all that, Dylan, the times they are a-changing. But if you want something more recent, something the kids are listening to, I don't want to go with the song that's hitting the charts from Gunna featuring Burna Boy. I don't really want to get into that. Yak probably knows all about that. Yak's rolling his eyes like, you're not really going there, are you, DJ? No, I'm going to Morgan Wallen. I'm going country for PK. Doesn't he have a song out? I Got Better. The Jazz just got better.
To me, all my music is wrapped up in one artist, and of course, that is Billie Eilish. That's the one that I am excited about.
Okay.
And for the Jazz, they can, if they got to go over the cap now, everything that's involved in winning, and we know the parameters for winning, right? They're all out there. Right. We understand what winning teams do as far as the finances and all, and what is required to win. Right. We have a basic idea, the premise of winning teams, what it costs, and the investment that you will make. And now they're going to do all of that.
I know.
I'm not saying they're going to win the West or any of that.
We
This
can't
is
know
a
that yet.
process that's going
Yeah.
to be developed, and we'll see about the draft pick and some other moves.
Yep.
Austin Ainge did not come here to lose. He just didn't, right? And I had some communication with him, and he's talking about how busy everything is. And once he told me that the word was swamped, I knew something's coming down. I didn't know what. Certainly not intimating that, boy, I knew Jaren Jackson was on the table and the Jazz were going to get him. I did not. But I knew that, all right, this is an aggressive, young, basically, I don't know what his title is. I just call him general managers. He's a young, aggressive guy, and he is a brilliant basketball mind. I can speak to that through discussions in locker rooms and on the court and on the phone and at airports back when he was in his early 20s. And so this guy is not going to try to take a backseat to anything, anyone. And so I knew something was coming down, and multiple things had come down. And they gave up these draft picks, which were so precious to them, rightly so. And they realized, and they knew this all along, it's not that they needed to some come to Jesus moment. They already knew it. Hey, that's why we've got these draft picks. The likelihood of drafting everybody with these picks was unlikely, and they knew that those are big-time assets, and it can help them get better and improve. So they parted with them. It's every sign that I see in the last 48 to 72 hours shows we're in. The Vegas push the chips in. And for me as a sports fan, that's exactly what I want to hear, what I want to see. And we got it. Now we get to see how it is. And then next year when we come in and the Jazz lose 121 to 119 to the Hawks or win 121 to 119, we can evaluate it legitimately.
Right.
It's pointless to evaluate last night's game when Nurkic doesn't play. Markkanen's a cheerleader in the fourth quarter. It's basically an exhibition game. We get that. Well, next year, we're done. They're going to sit some guys. Not everybody's going to play 82. I understand that. But the idea is they're going to win. And I would venture to say, going forward, now, there's 3 reasons why Markkanen wouldn't play in the fourth quarter. 1, he's hurt. 1, they're killing a team. Or 1, they're getting slaughtered. I can't think of any other reason. And as a fan, that's what I want to see. I'm a fan of competition. Now, we had competition last night. I'm not saying we didn't. All those guys on both teams were balling as hard as they could. So that was plenty fine for me. But I can't speak to what Atlanta's trying to do because I don't know and I don't care. But for the Jazz, we know what they're trying to do. And we know my Markkanen was over there not playing. Well, that's over, man. That leads me to have so much excitement that I'm eagerly underline that, anticipating the 26-27 season.
DJ PK, it's 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. More on the Utah Jazz and their future with David Locke at 8:30. We're talking Super Bowl. Kevin Graham is here at the top of the hour, 15 minutes away, right here on The Zone.